Welcome to Corp, a bi-weekly podcast where we reach into the Imagisphere and pull out the next great video game idea. I am the CEO of Corp, Bryce.
And I'm the CEO of Corp, Beckers.
Last time on this podcast, we did a thing. What was that?
Well, Bryce, we made Paindeer Games. Paindeer Games was a huge success on its opening week. So we're putting in some ideas for a spin-off game for next year where Santa's genetically superior reindeer are breaking free of his oppression, and they're gonna take over the world, and we're gonna call it Rise of the Planet of the Deer. So that's news on what we made last time.
Real catchy name.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I liked it.
It's going to be real easy for the people to say that. The interns, the surviving interns, have been bugging me saying, hey, we've been working real hard surviving for the last few months. You should pick an employee of the year to celebrate with the end of the year and stuff. And then I took a nap. So Beckers, who do you want the employee of the year to be?
Well, since I've been picking employee of the year pretty much every year, I think I have to go with an employee that's been with us, who's worked very hard and who wins every year. And that employee is going to be me. It's going to be Beckers, because I pick. So it's me.
That's great. Speaking of the new year, it's coming. It's coming. I bet you didn't know. But it's New Year's time, and we're doing things a little differently in the coming year. This time, we're going to let you help us come up with game ideas. All you have to do is tweet your game idea using the hashtag GameMateCorp, and we'll use that to make money with. So that'll be fun for you.
It's a totally brand new idea. We've never suggested that before.
I know. I thought.
New us.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But until the new year comes around, I have an original concept. And it's called anesthesia. Have you heard of it?
I have.
You're a doctor. You probably have that laying around.
I don't. But go on.
Well, this isn't actually anesthesia, though maybe we'll include it. We like to include little bonuses, little pre-order bonuses with our games. Maybe we'll have some anesthesia in there. But this game is called Anesthesia. And it's kind of like a board game, like the board game Operation, plus the board game Don't Wake Daddy, which are both board games. Bet you didn't know. It's a new thing. You're playing the board game. Is it a board game? There's not really a board to Operation. The electronical experience.
Yeah. That's a problem that a lot of games have. So they came up with the term tabletop game. Yeah.
What if I lay it on the floor?
We're gonna need another new term.
A game.
A game you play mostly with your hands. How about that?
Hand game.
That's all. That's also video games. I don't know.
Why is in the football game they very rarely use their feet? It doesn't make any sense. You are not allowed to do much footing.
What do you mean?
You're usually carrying the ball. You don't do much footing.
All you do is footing.
How? I mean, you're like running with your feet, but there's not all that much football contact. It's not a football game. It's a handball game.
I just wanted to be contrary here, to be honest, but
okay.
Yeah.
So this is Operation, where you're playing Operation, and instead of just having the thing where it's just the flat dude that exists, we're gonna get him all animatronic up in there. And you get to, I guess, I don't really know how Don't Wake Daddy works. I think you roll dice, and depending on, you get a card, and then you have to hit the alarm button an amount of times, and then if it goes off, Daddy wakes up and you lose. Is this right?
I'm a little distracted by how many times you've said daddy.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
We're going to do that plus an animatronic operation, man. And you're going to have the board game where you got to go through the doctor home, and to get to what's the cool place in the doctor home?
The morgue?
That's the cool place? That's where all the doctors hang out? Man, let's go meet up to hang out. The morgue, we love it there.
Okay.
People are dying to get in there. Yes. Okay.
That's a 10 out of 10, buddy. There you go. Good one. Oh shit.
So you gotta get to the morgue while doing operations. So you'll land on spaces that will give you an amount, a part of the body you have to take something out of or put something in. Sometimes you gotta put stuff into the body. We don't talk about that enough in Operation, but sometimes you gotta put things in, I think. Right? We put stuff in bodies.
Like mechanical valves, and knee replacements and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a whole, we'll be a real, the whole body, we'll get a, we'll partner with the Real Doll Company to get a big human body with all the organs in there. And they're all mechanical and sensitive and stuff, so they'll know if you're doing it bad, if you're stabbing real rough And there'll be a little pump, and you'll get a card, and it'll be spleen, 3 pumps. And so you got to be careful, because 3's a good solid number, I guess. Let's say it's
Sure it is.
You gotta worry about giving them too much anesthesia, because then they don't wake up.
Yeah, so you have to give them 3 anesthesias.
Yes, 3 pumps of the anesthesia.
That's the correct number. Yes. So how do you lose then if you already know 3 is the correct number of anesthesias?
I guess maybe I guess it just tells. I guess it tells you what part to pull out, and some parts are more sensitive than other parts. So then you have to maybe put more anesthesia if you're taking out the liver instead of the spleen, because that one's got all the nerves.
Oh, sure.
Then you want to put more anesthesia, but not too much, because if you wake up, you lose and you get a lawsuit, and that's bad for doctors. Because waking up during stabbings is bad.
It's not usually a good memory, no. I'm thinking also it's gonna depend on your patient. I think we should have options.
We should get different, little you could have tough guy Joe, who's a bodybuilder, and he can take all the pain. So maybe he doesn't need very much anesthesia. There'll be a dial on it. So instead of telling you the amount of pumps, that the amount of anesthesia you give it, there's a slider where you select it'll be Billy Bob needs his liver out, and it'll give you a description about Billy Bob, and it'll be he's a cowboy, and he's 45, and he likes licorice. And based on that information, you'll try and figure out how much anesthesia to give him. So you'll select on the dial. We're operating on Billy Bob now, and then you'll go like, based on this, he's a cowboy. He probably doesn't need much anesthesia. I'll only give him like 1 pump. He'll be good.
But then you have to know about the drug interaction between licorice and anesthesia, because it turns out that licorice completely makes anesthesia not work, probably.
Yeah.
And so you have to give 10 times the amount of anesthesia per single licorice strand.
Yes. You'll have to really dig deep into Billy Bob's backstory and find out exactly how much licorice he eats on average. And this is a computer game. It was gonna be a board game, but I feel like it's gotten too elaborate. Maybe this is a VR experience.
Yeah, you're gonna need to take his full patient history before beginning the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, very important. Probably gonna have to do like a colonoscopy quick, because I'm sure you need to do that, depending on how old he is. Yeah. Prostate exam.
Stick it up there.
Colonoscopy.
I feel like this is both a very great video game and something we can sell to doctors.
It's now a training tool.
But like for a fun one, learning is best when it's fun.
Yes, and also is it still gonna shock you when you mess up? Is that component still gonna be in the game?
Operation shocked you?
Bryce!
I thought it made like a buzzing noise. Like, was your Operation game malfunctioning?
It didn't shock you. It vibrated, and it was jarring. It was alarming. It was terrifying.
Yes.
It goes, and then you knew you lost.
Every time Beckers gets a phone call, she's just like, no, not again. Please stop. Please stop shocking.
Yes, I get flashbacks.
To the good board game times that she had.
And also the bad shocky times when I was pulling a bone out and I wasn't very clean about it.
Yep.
Because doctors do that. They remove entire bones from bodies of people.
Because they're bad bones.
Surgically. And then the person's going to end up like Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets movie, where he has no bones in his arm and it's just like that.
Sometimes they like, if the patient's looking real bad, they'll be like, hold on, I've got an idea. They crack the person open, find their wishbone, and then have them break it and be like, wish that you get better. And then sometimes that's the last ditch effort they do.
Do humans have wishbones? Because I don't know that they do. Only in Operation.
We don't know that they don't.
Well, they will if we put them in there.
Yes.
During a surgery, and then later on we take it out if we need to.
Exactly. As I said, sometimes we put things in. Beckers, can you put a video game idea into this podcast?
I would love to. Bryce.
That's me.
What are the biggest household names of video games?
Chad gets you home on time.
You're wrong. It's Tetris.
That game where we shove eggs up chickens' butts.
That was a good one, but no, it's Tetris.
Okay.
Barbie Riding Club and Pokemon.
We made one of those. I think we made most of those except for Tetris. We haven't done that one yet. Add that to the list, Billy Bob.
Okay, well, that's not what I'm doing today. Fuck Tetris. That's played out. I don't like it. Nope, Tetris is garbage. That one's done.
That's a little risque for our content, but we could add a...
Oh my god, stop.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me about your game.
Not what I wanted at all. Okay, so not Tetris. That's not what we're doing today.
Things girls say to me on a first date.
So not Tetris. Barbie Riding Club can't be improved upon. That's peak. That's just perfect. And then, yes, that leaves one more, and that's right. It's time for another GMC flavored Pokemon game.
Is it a strawberry?
Maybe. I haven't gotten that far. So I want to make a Pokemon game where you don't control the Pokemon. So normally in the regular Pokemon games, you bring up your battle and you pick what move they use. You click on Thunder Punch and whatever, and they do it, and then the water type goes, "Oh man, I'm dead," and then you win. But that's not very realistic. Think about a real 3D Pokemon battle where you've got these animals that are super cute and they're fighting, and it's actually really disturbing, but they're fighting.
What's the cutest Pokemon?
Vulpix.
Okay.
They're fighting, and
Why did they do Let's Go Eevee? Let's Go Vulpix would have been the ideal one.
yes, I love Vulpix. It's a little cutie.
Okay.
So it's not very realistic. If you have like these real animals in front of you, you don't have time to tell them, "Hey, use Thunder Punch." It's much faster in this battle if they think of it themselves and they see the opportune moment and they strike, and they don't need trainer intervention. You don't have time to spend like a 5-second delay and then use Thunder Punch. That's the difference between your Pokemon sending the other Pokemon to Pound Town, and then the other option would be losing.
And also, I feel like when Mr. Ash Ketchum yells, hey Pikachu, do Shockwave, the other Pokemon could be like, hey, it looks like he's gonna, like, his guy just said use Shockwave. I think I should, like, prepare.
I'm gonna do a Protect.
Yeah, do a Shockwave, I think's coming. I should maybe get ready for that.
You're letting out some vital information there. Really, it just makes sense. I can't believe this hasn't been done before. So what we're gonna do is do an AI Pokemon game where your Pokemon controls themselves.
Okay.
And you throw them out in the fight, and then you watch them battle it out with some popcorn, and you just hope that you win.
They're battling popcorn?
No, you eat popcorn while they battle it out. It's like a show, because at that point you're not doing anything. So you are the one, you gotta train your Pokemon to be stronger or smarter. You gotta teach them to use Thundershock all the time.
All the time. That's the only move that's good.
I mean, well, except for when Pikachu uses Quick Attack, but ultimately every fight ends when he decides to Thundershock him, right? So, you know.
Even when he's fighting the rock type, which really he should not win those fights, but
no.
It's a bad anime they made, so.
Yeah. So.
Go on. Was your whole game idea that we make it so the player doesn't do anything?
Okay, well, that's just the foundation, Bryce.
Okay, let me see the house you build upon this foundation.
Yes, let's hear about. Listen to my house. It's a good one. It's a big one.
House.
My house, in the middle of my street. My house. It's gonna be super neat. Okay.
I rhymed. Look, everybody, I rhymed.
Look at, I rhymed. Okay, Okay.
Okay.
So you got this. But you have to start by catching a Pokemon, right? So you catch your first Pokemon using the super strong one the professor gives you. And then you move on.
In the Pokemon Let's Go, you catch your first one.
Okay, well, I'm not playing that game. This is not Pokemon Let's Go.
Also, he shows up later in the lab, which is a little confusing. Like, why was he able to move in his ball, and then why did he go to the thing? Why didn't he just stay out of the... Why didn't he just go like, hey, dude, I'm yours now. Let's go on an adventure. Also, Eevee sucks.
What? Eevee doesn't suck. Please stop. You're ridiculous.
I'm gonna go get some popcorn.
That's fine. I can talk about this for hours. So, your Pokemon, you might not catch like a smart one particularly. He's really leaving. Okay. thought that was a bluff. Okay, so your Pokemon that you catch, they might not be a very good one. You know, they could be a Pokemon that just likes to use Harden all the time, and then you put it in a fight and it doesn't know what to do. It just chokes. Right, Bryce?
No.
Oh my god.
Beckers can't do the podcast without me. You all saw it.
I need someone to tell me that I'm good. Someone who's right there and he says, "Good job." That's awesome. Excellent work, Beckers. That's what I need. That's why there's 2 CEOs.
Okay.
So sometimes you get duds.
Where are we in the game idea?
I don't know. I'm lost. Do you have any more ideas, or should we just push on to the next one?
Last I heard was that Pikachu just learned Shockwave a lot, and then you were building a house. And then I left to go get popcorn.
My house ended up being really small, so.
Hey, Beckers, do you know what Pokemon are?
I've heard of them.
Do you know what their name means?
Pocket monsters?
Exactly, and I've got a game idea about normal size monsters.
Okay, all right, that's excellent. Good segue, perfect. Whew, covered that one.
It went so smooth. I'm glad we could work together to make this happen.
It has like butter, smooth as butter. It's a smooth food.
Yes. A microphone-enabled horror game. Similar to... There's other ones. There's one where you have to talk to be able... You have to use echolocation to see, so you have to like talk, and then the waves go out and you can see. So you have to actually talk, and like the louder you are, the more you can see. But also the monsters can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So then you want to be like quiet, but not too quiet, or else you won't be able to see. So it's gonna be kind of like that, but instead of you can see, you don't need echolocation. Instead, this is a microphone enabled game, and there's monsters all over, and it's real dark and scary. But instead of doing echolocation stuff, you use your microphone to do ASMR. So that you can lull the monsters to sleep.
Go to sleep, monster. Like that.
Yep. Do all the ASMRs. You got to do the and the snapping.
Yeah.
Do you listen to it? Do you listen to it? No, you're just like vaguely conceptually aware of it.
Do you want to hear my...
Tell me.
I don't know if I should do this one.
Yes.
My only experience with ASMR is a clip from Pokimane, her stream.
Yes.
Where someone tricks her into saying a word really slowly or very ASMR that makes her say a bad word. That's what I know about ASMR.
Okay.
It's a word I can't repeat.
Good. ASMR is a thing where like you can listen to audio and then your body will get all relaxed and tingly. There's things like typing and talking real quiet and personal. I'd be like, "Hey, monster, I know you've had a hard day at work today. You probably scared a lot of children, but I think it's time for sleep now. I'm sure you're real, like, probably ate a lot of people today, and you're probably really full. It's time to drift off to sleep. And just think about tomorrow when you'll be able to eat some more people, but not me, because you're asleep." And you got to do ASMR the entire time.
Have you ever thought about being an ASMR artist? That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Good, Bryce.
I'm gonna do just ASMR targeted at monsters, except I'm gonna make it a video game, and it's going to be the one we're talking about right now.
Perfect. You're using your skills for good instead of evil. I like it.
And you got to do ASMR the entire time. It's about a 6-hour game, depending on how fast you go. You're also controlling your movement. So if you're like walking too fast, they'll be like, "What? I was asleep, but you were walking real fast." This is my monster voice. "You were walking real fast there, sir, so now I gotta eat you."
I'm not terribly scared of that monster, exactly.
He's from the Bronx. He's the Bronx monster. The scary one.
Is that what Bronx people sound like?
That's what the Bronx people sound like. This is what the Bronx monster sounds like.
Yeah, this is a Midwest-centered podcast, everyone. We don't know about the Bronx. You can tell that from how the Bryce is talking right now.
I went to Chicago once. That's exactly like the Bronx. Yeah, you gotta do ASMR the entire time, or else the monsters will wake up. You can't walk too fast, because then the monsters will wake up. You can't eat crunchy Doritos.
Unless you crinkle the bag. Yeah,
you can crinkle the bag, but you can't eat them or you'll die. Crinkle,
Oops,
crinkle.
I bumped my mic. I don't think you're supposed to do it. Crinkle, crinkle. Crinkly monster. Crinkle time. Crinkle.
And also...
Potato.
And also, we will record all of that ASMR to both verify you're doing a good job, and upload that to our Monster ASMR YouTube channel, so that I'll have content from my ASMR Monster channel. Cause I ain't gonna make it. I'm a popular CEO of a video game company. I ain't got time for that, but you do, and you love video games. You know who also loves video games and this podcast?
Who?
Our investors.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Shock. Go on. I slowed your roll, I think.
No, you could be one of those people. You could help support the ASMR that we make here by going to patreon.com/lastgeek, like our investor Erin C did, where she donated $8. She's donating $8 a month, but for $5, we'll let you be an investor, and we'll talk about you every week on the podcast, and maybe thank you in our ASMR voice. So, Aaron C., thank you for investing in Game Corp. If you are currently lulled to sleep, please have someone take off your headphones. Are you asleep? Are the headphones off? Okay. Beckers, do you have a game idea?
Holy shit. You just woke everybody up.
Well, they were supposed to have somebody take off their headphones.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not... Okay. How are they going to have someone take off their headphones if they're asleep, Bryce?
Their significant other needs to be listening in on their ASMR and wait for the audio cue. They should always do ASMR with a buddy to pull you out if you get in too deep.
Like Inception.
Like in Inception. Also, when you're playing the anesthesia game, if you worried about not having enough anesthesia, you can always ASMR them.
Yeah, that'd be a really good option, like an alternative medicine thing. Yeah. Play ASMR. That's a super good idea. Also, essential oils.
Yeah, and then
just rub them on their feet.
It'll really help for our future doctors, because they'll be playing the game and they'll try the ASMRs and the anesthesias. And I want to verify ASMR is great. I listen to that stuff every night. But you try and do that stuff during your surgery, and that person is going to wake up and you are going to lose the game.
Well, plus it's going to put all the surgeons to sleep.
Yep.
Their operational chainsaw is going to slip.
Well, everyone knows that the ASMR person is susceptible to their own ASMR. They're always falling asleep halfway through the video. They just have to hope to like stay awake long enough for the person watching the video to fall asleep, and then like they wake up in the middle of the night and the YouTube video is just like the ASMR artist like asleep in front of the camera. They didn't edit that out. It's still there. They're legally required to include the full video. Beckers, you have a game idea.
I do. And ASMR, okay.
What?
So you know about Grand Theft Auto? I was trying to do a segue. I don't have it. I don't got it.
ASMR, do you know about
Pocket Monsters, Big Monsters. And this is ASMR Grand Theft Auto. So so you know how we have Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, we made that.
Yep, you go around the city and you steal the cars and you shoot people and you're a gangsta and you get rich or whatever. I don't know. I usually just honestly drive around the streets in cars and just try to follow the rules of the road. And that's actually really hard. Just so you know.
Because you don't know how to drive?
No, because actually, if you do follow the rules of the road, a lot of the time other people don't.
Welcome to big cities.
Yep. Anyway, so yeah. Then there's
What's
you
this
have
game?
Grand Theft Auto, and then you also have Red Dead Redemption, which is like Grand Theft Auto except it's cowboys, right? You're on horses and the weapons suck and there's like bank robberies and bounties or whatever. So I want to do the next game like this, and I want to do it in space.
Okay.
So you're going to be a cowboy gangster in space. Oh my gosh.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, by the way, people who liked her Pokemon AI game play Digimon World 1 on the PlayStation 1. Okay, go on.
Okay, I don't even know what you're talking about. I did not steal that idea. I never heard of that game. So
Digimon World 1 on the PlayStation 1 is exactly the game she's talking about.
Okay, well, our AI is going to be better because it's 2K18 now, and PlayStations came out in like 64 or something like that.
They just put out a new PlayStation 1, and they made it smaller, and they called it the Classic.
Kind of like the new Nintendo thingies that came out. But they only have 16 games, and none of them are Mac and Joe, the Dinosaur Bros.
What?
Joe and Mac. It's on Nintendo.
The NES or the SNES?
I think it's SNES.
SNES?
Mm-hmm.
SNES and SNAM?
It's SNESty.
Okay, what are you doing in space?
We're gonna be a space gangster, cowboy, astronaut.
Firefly.
Okay, so you're gonna. Okay, so in these other games, you had cars or horses that you would steal or find or whatever. In this game, you're gonna have like some kind of space vehicle, right? Like a motorcycle.
Everyone takes their motorcycles into space. It's the best.
Yeah, okay, but it's a hover cycle.
Though to be
so
fair,
it's gonna go anywhere.
Mr. Tesla did take his car into space, but I don't think he drove it. He just put a man in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So you're going to have a space cycle, or maybe this is my chance to bring up that Star Wars pod racer game again. And we're going to have all those pods.
Yep, everyone knows that they took their pod racers into space and it went well and no one died.
Okay, well, this is a different game, so it's going to go well in our game. And you're going to steal people's pods. And I don't know, maybe you get like really rich after stealing all these pods and reselling them. Or flipping pods, if you will. I don't know.
Pod flipper?
Pod flipper. You're going to refurbish them. You're going to put some fuzzy dice up in there. And you're going to sell them, and then you're going to make a lot of money. And you're going to buy a Death Star.
Okay.
That's going to go well. You're going to resell it to Mr. Vader or something.
Vader's German for dad.
I learned that from Pitch Perfect.
You were in that, right?
I was the main character, yeah.
Okay.
My pitch was perfect.
I dare you $5 to sing. That's how dares work. What noise did you just make with your body?
I cracked my finger.
You put your hand against your face and it cracked and it scared me.
Bryce is easily scared.
Do we check if Beckers was human? Do we have I don't think we required a physical at this company. We might have to. I mean, then we'd have to do those to the interns, and I don't want to. Let's just keep going. What? Your Vader's here.
Yeah, so you got a Death Star now. And like the weapons of the game, you got pistols in Red Dead Redemption. You got pistols in Grand Theft Auto, but a different kind. And in this game, you're gonna have pistols, but they're gonna be lasers. Laser pistols. And
yes,
Death Stars. Big lasers.
Aren't all stars Death Stars?
That's a philosophical question.
Is it?
Because they're also life stars. Because without the sun, we would have no life, but eventually it's going to explode and kill everything. So most of the time it's a life star.
Beckers, I have a game idea.
Fine. What is it?
But first, I have a question for you.
Oh no. What is it?
What do you need to make a zoo?
Animals?
How many?
Greater than 2.
More than two. Two. How many kinds of animals do you need?
Greater than 2.
So, as long as you have 2 different kinds of animals, you can have a zoo.
Yes, that's how come my house is a zoo.
I hate you now. Beckers, how many animals do you have?
I don't want to talk about it.
Beckers.
Someone might hear. Like the state of Illinois.
I don't think that's I mean, last time you had the a part that was a very much a thing of we had a game about hiding the amount of animals you have in your apartment building. Now you're in a duplex? Suplex? Like the wrestling move?
That depends. What's the difference?
A duplex is 2 units in the same building.
What's a suplex?
Suplex is a wrestling move.
Question withdrawn.
Beckers, are you living in a suplex?
Yes, because I am a wrestler.
And you always live that life. You're always living the suplex life. How many animals do you have?
More than 2?
How many different kinds of animals do you have?
Only 2, actually. My last rat died. I dedicate this episode to her memory.
How'd your rat die?
Age. She's old.
Age and a hammer.
What the fuck? Bryce!
Call the hammer Age.
Noah.
It's my old hammer, so it's old age.
Noah, she was a little sweetie, and she just got very old. The lifespan of a common household rat is 2 to 3 years, and she was 4.5.
4.5.
She's an old lady.
So my game is called We Built a Secret Zoo, a Beckers story.
Oh no. Sounds like a personal dream.
Where you slowly collect animals.
Oh no.
As part of an undercover zoo in your home. So
did I predict your game?
Yes. See, I I said I was gonna go, hey Beckers, how many animals do you have? And then I say, hey, we built a secret zoo. But you said the thing, and then I said I hate you. And that's the game.
The podcast has been canceled. The jokes are ruined. It's ogre.
What was it like to have one animal?
I've never had one animal.
What you start? What? How did? Let me go. Take me through the animal journey.
Okay, so what had happened was I did have. Well, I actually no. I've never had one animal. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so I had the rats. I had the rats first.
How many?
Well, we only had 2 to start with.
Only.
Okay, well, you never want to have a single rat. They're very social creatures.
But you did.
So I didn't. Okay, well, the last one, I wasn't gonna have any more rats. So I wasn't gonna get her, and she was extremely old. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Get another rat and commit to having another rat for like 3 years, and then she's already past her life expectancy. So it's like, no.
And that's why you get a hammer instead of a rat.
You're on my list, Bryce.
Are you checking it twice?
I got 2 rats in college with my then boyfriend, now husband.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be an emotional story of love and betrayal and new love, and then the new boyfriend had a dog, and then you like came together. And no, okay.
We got all of our animals together. So I got 2 rats.
Tell me the boring version of the story then.
Then we got because we couldn't have
your first animal was a
yet.
Rat.
Yeah,
that's where you start. Okay,
this is in college. We got 2 rats, and then we got a third because we went to Petco to buy rat stuff, and there was a rat up for adoption. So we got her, and she turned out to be fucking crazy. She bit the shit out of our hands, dude, but we kept her.
Because you wanted to believe that, somebody will accept crazy. Beckers just really needed someone to believe, like, if I accept crazy, someone else has to do it too, right?
Well, after we got her, we got a dope-ass cage that was huge. It was like the size of an entertainment center. And we had these 3 rats in it. We were like, well, they don't live that long.
And then we lived in the cage, and we let the rats take the house, so we were safe from the rats.
That didn't happen until we got up to like 20 rats. Okay, so we kept her because the rats all got along, and if she bit us, then I guess that I didn't care. We just liked the other rats. And we kind of just kept getting rats because we had all this extra space now. And I'm not going to disclose how many rats we actually ended up with.
It's 20. It was 20. You said earlier in the podcast.
That was a random number that I pulled out of the air. So anyway.
Totally.
Once we actually lived together, about a year after that, we got
well, I guess we've got all these rats. I guess we have to move in together.
I don't know. We just he was out of college, so we could move in together. So he got a house, and I moved in with him. And we got a cat, and that was Lena. And then, like a month later, we were like...
And then it ate the crazy rat, and things were better for a while.
No. Crazy rat we only had for like 2 months. She was really old, so she died. She's old when we got her. That's why we just kept her, because like it was let her die on her own or put her down, I guess, because no one else was gonna keep her because it was a big ouch, that rat. She was the only rat that ever bit, and it hurts, just so you know.
Crazy hurts.
I'm having visceral memories of the ouch that instilled. I was so betrayed too. God. First time she bit me. It's like, what the hell? Ow.
Go on.
We got our first cat. That's Lena. And then we were like, and that's just because we had a house now, so we could finally have cats. So we got a cat.
We have the space. We must fill it.
At the same time, we put a deposit down for our first dog, which was Hero. And he wasn't born yet, but we knew he would be born that summer. Probably, unless it was an entire litter of females. So we were first pick for males. And he's a Bernese Mountain Dog, right? So that was that. But a month later, we decided to get a second cat because our cat was lonely. So we went to get a second cat. But we looked at all the animals in the Humane Society and we were like, but.
Did you try paying attention to your cat? Maybe instead of just having more animals, you could just pay attention to the ones you have.
I do. I have so much love to give Bryce. So then we went to get a second cat, and we found two that we really, really liked. And then we stayed there all day trying to decide which one to take home. And we were like, there's no reason we can't take care of both.
I feel like there could be a reason.
Yeah, so we got them both. Yep. And then about 3 more months went by.
And then the one cat felt like it was a third wheel, so we had to get another cat so that it could have a friend. And then that one just wasn't fitting in, so we had to get a fifth cat so it could have its own social group.
Really, we got all of these in 1 year. This is what happened here. So, about a month before we were due to pick up Hero, so he was born. He was just aging to be old enough to take home. Alex goes, look at this dog on Craigslist. Look at how cute he is. And he needs a new home. Look at him. So we went, and I was like, I don't think we should do this. I was the person who said, I'm not sure about this. Me. So I was like, we're about to get a puppy. I don't think we should just get another dog.
I just want to remind all the people listening that this is a story about how Beckers got all her animals. So if you're wondering if she got the dog, just remember the story that we're participating in.
Okay, so we went and we looked at the dog, and he's like, let's get him. And I was like, okay.
This is a story we're participating in. It's a story about how Beckers said she wasn't getting a dog. And then there's the dog that she said she wasn't going to get that Beckers is currently touching with her hand, I think.
Yeah, he's right behind me. Yeah, he's a real cutie pie. He's right there. So we got him, and then Hero came shortly after that. And for whatever reason, Bryce, I went to the Humane Society to look at cats for fun. And there was a really cool cat there, and that was Arthur.
Hold on. How long has it been since the first 2 rats? At this point.
About a year and a half.
How many animals are we at?
I don't remember. I don't know how many rats we had at that point.
I believe we're at 3 rats, 3 cats, 2 dogs.
Ish. I don't remember if we got Arthur before or after Hero.
I just want to make it clear. At this point in the story, Beckers has won. We built a secret zoo. That's a fucking zoo. But the story continues. She kept playing. Go on.
And then we got Arthur, and it was really cute because he used to wrestle with Hero when Hero was tiny. It was very cute. You ever see a cat and a dog wrestle?
This is a cat. Great. Okay, so this is cat number 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you don't even know. You don't even know about this cat, Bryce, but there was a 5th.
The secret cat.
Our neighbor was... Our neighbor was trying to get rid of a cat.
And they just took one look at Beckers and been like, well, there we go.
Here's our chance. So we took that cat on and we rehabbed her, and then we moved out. Our roommate kept her. And now, oh my God, I've gone back to that house. She hates me now. She hates me again. She forgot who I am. Bitch. She's so mean to me.
Okay, so...
Everything I did for her.
Is this all the animals, or is that...
Not yet. That happened in like 1 year.
Okay.
And we still, it's been like 3 or 4 years since then, I think.
Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
And we have all the same animals, except for the rats that have died because they don't live that long.
So that's all the animals that you have acquired.
Really got it out of our system. And we are living with what we did in that year. But it's been a good time. You're never lonely.
You can't be. It's impossible. You want to be lonely at some point, but you can't. They're there. You're like, I'm going to make a podcast today, but they're there. You're just like, the rat dies, and you're like, finally, one less. We're one down. We're so close to like having just a normal size zoo.
Yeah. And I guess we don't know how old any of the cats are, but probably not that old.
They'll outlive Beckers.
Wow, what does that mean? Do you got plans for me?
So this is the game. It's a Telltale. No, they're gone. It's a Game Corp narrative adventure called "We Built a Secret Zoo," a Beckers story, and every so often an animal. You'll just be It's a game where you're like walking through a city, and every so often an animal. It'll be like a rat,
oh my God,
a dog, a cat, a pigeon, a snake just wanders upon your path, and a little screen pops up and it's like, do you want to take this home with you? And you can click on no, but that button doesn't work. The only button that works is yes. And then you take that animal home, and now you have a secret zoo in your home.
I forgot one.
Go, what?
It's a different species even. It's a toad. Frog. This is before we got the cats. It hopped into my room and I kept it. It was the middle of winter, so I didn't want to put it outside.
So that has been this episode of Game Corp. Beckers, where can people hear from you?
At a non-disclosed location because I don't want to be arrested for having a zoo. But you can find me at Dr. Beckers with a Z on Twitter and at Dr. Beckers with an S on Twitch because there's been a few times in my life when I've streamed on there. Not all that often, but maybe again someday. Yep. How about you, Bryce?
You can find me on Twitter at Last Geek, on Instagram at Last Geek Plays, youtube.com/lastgeek, other places. Also, Podchaser did an article about this podcast. It's on their blog. I don't have a great link for you to find, but just go on there and track it down. Or go to my Twitter and find it there. I've probably tweeted about like Doritos since then, so just keep scrolling. Look at all my tweets. They're all high quality.
Oh God, you're gonna scare everyone away.
Also, I do a podcast called Ready Set Gamecast. It comes out the weeks that this doesn't. If you know how to listen to a podcast, just the way that you found this one, type in Ready Set Gamecast into your thing and listen to that one. And anything else I'm forgetting? Beckers?
No.
Okay, this has been our last episode of 2018. I just want to thank our listeners, new and old, for joining us on this adventure, and we will see you again next year. But until then, remember, have fun.